Memories have a way of taking you back to that place that created the memory. Now, if it's a good memory, you might smile and feel good about it. Um, and you might visit that place often. That's funny how that goes. If it's a good memory, we'll revisit that memory here and there, every now and then. Or if something triggers that good memory, we'll revisit that good memory and even feel the good feelings that we felt at the time. Whether it was a first kiss or first hello or just a good feeling, whatever it is. But the bad memories, when a bad memory is triggered, we tend to not visit those bad memories, but live in them. We become that thing that we're avoiding looking at in the bad memory. And and we wear that. It becomes a part of us and it's constantly triggered because now you've layered another reason. Whatever that reason was that brought up the bad memory, now you've layered that reason onto your trigger response. So we tend to live in those bad memories, those parts of us that we haven't looked at and don't want to look at, don't want to touch. And you can't become who you think you want to be or even how you see yourself until you revisit those parts because you, you really can't see yourself clearly if you're not looking at those parts of you that you left there. And to go back to that part of you that you left, as I mentioned tons of times, is it's not easy. But most of it's not easy because a lot of times we're not sure what we're going to get out of it once we get to that memory, once we conjure up that feeling. Excuse me. When we conjure up that feeling of that past memory, we tend to stop right there and don't look at it any further. Don't We don't tend to say, okay, why am I feeling this? Why am I, it make me anxious? Or I remember the moment that I felt this feeling. And in your mind, you need to go back to that moment. Go to that moment and feel what you felt and see the scene. I mean, this is actually an imagination thief. I mean, that's why most older people don't have great imaginations anymore, um, because we lose it as a kid because we're covering it up with not looking. With you, as a kid, we fall. I remember when I was a young kid and I was playing football in a bed with my brother. We were standing up, we're little kids, and tossing the little Nerf ball back and forth, and then he jumped and trying to catch the ball, and his knee hit my two front teeth and knocked them out. And when I go back to that moment in time, I don't I don't see the pain of it, of my my teeth getting knocked out, or him hitting his knee into my gums, into my mouth. I don't even know what it looked like. What I remember is me telling my mom to hurry up and get him out, so I can go back and play football. I was having that much fun, and that's what a memory is supposed to do for you. Take you back to the place where all you can feel is the joy of it. So the ones that we need to face are the ones that we, of course, we don't feel joy from. So we have to go back and visit those moments and find the good part and soothe the hurt part. Because the reason we leave it there is because it's not, the soothing is got not getting met, the correct verbiage or tones or hugs or anything is not being addressed for what's happening at that moment. So take my brother hitting my teeth with his knee. Had I been the type of child to look at it as, oh, how, why would you do that to me? Oh, poor me, and or my parent may encourage that by saying, oh, how could you hit your sister like that? You know, she's a girl. Stop playing. If it became a bad thing, then that memory becomes a pain. So going back to the painful part of your life and addressing what happens in that moment will take your imagination and will take you actually feeling what you felt at that moment. See, at that moment, I felt joy. So that's an easy memory to just conjure up and enjoy the feeling. But there are memories that are painful that has to be revisited. And revisiting them would make your mind or your imagination, you go back to the individuals that actually did the pain and you see them differently. You have to go back and see what it was like to be you at that moment, knowing what you know now. See, a lot of times we say that too as we get older. If I knew what I know now when I was younger, I would have done things differently. Now you do. Now you know things now better. Now you know differently. So now you can go back to that painful moment when you were that child and address the issue in the knowledge that you have now. So the knowledge that you have now, when you were that child and something happened that was painful, and you can see the person, you can be in that moment, you can feel what was going on and what you were feeling like. Were you afraid? Were you feeling guilty? Were you feeling sad? You can go back to and revisit those feelings and then understand why you were feeling those things. That's the step further. You know, first you got to get to the feeling, and then you have to acknowledge that, yeah, I was feeling sad. I was feeling guilty. I was feeling shame. I was feeling hurt. I was feeling confused. Whatever it is that you were feeling, feel it. See, what we do in the moments of pain inflicted upon us, or hurt, or what anger, or whatever it is that we feel when we feel as if someone's inflicting something on us, we take it and we cover it up. We don't allow ourselves to feel that energy, that pain, that moment. We don't allow ourselves to see ourselves in a certain way or see the other individual in a certain way. We deflect it because who wants to know that they're in this moment that I'm feeling hurt because somebody that I think should love me is not giving me loving words. That's when you have to stop and look at the whole picture. If we can do that in the moment, in the now, if we can in the now stop and feel what we're feeling without reacting, but accept that we're feeling what we're feeling in the moment, we wouldn't have to go back and do as much childhood work because we can heal that pain in the moment. Okay, that's what came up today. Okay, thanks.